Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I know you're probably thinking that I'm just someone making hyperbolic statements in order to get attention, but I seriously mean it. Demon Slayer healed my soul, and that is not an exaggeration, that is not some hyperbole. It really healed my spirit, put some life into me, and this is because I've been feeling pretty jaded, and that has to do specifically because of Attack on Titan. Since Attack on Titan season 4 premiered, I've been so annoyed with the show. I've been so annoyed with anime discussion, everything in general. Maybe it's because I was taking it too seriously, and I'm realizing I probably took it too seriously. But I've never seen something so mediocre, so trash get so much attention. In my opinion, season 4 is complete garbage, and by the love of me, I could not understand why it was getting so much hype. I could not understand why people could not really discuss it, because anyway, I'm not going into too much detail about that, but I'll just say I was feeling jaded because of Attack on Titan. But Entertainment District Act really reminded me of why I love anime, why I fell in love with the medium in the first place. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let me talk about the show. So I seriously feel like the Entertainment District Act, I will call it season 2 from now on, Demon Slayer season 2, because even though I know there was like a short animated like mini series of the Mugen Train arc, the short like 6 episodes, I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to refer to this Entertainment District Act as season 2. So moving on, I'll say Demon Slayer season 2 is the best Demon Slayer yet. It's the best thing yet. It's the best arc yet. I think it's better than the Mugen Train movie, and I think it's better than all the high point of season 1, that is episode 19, and all of the things that made those places great. Those things were great. Mugen Train is great, episode 19 is great, in fact the whole of season 1 is great, but all of those things that made them great are so much better in the Entertainment District Act. So let me talk first of all about the animation. The animation for the first, and I'm going to be honest with you, since I'll try to be as balanced in this review or discussion as I can be, I'll say the animation for the first 5 or 6 episodes is pretty standard, nothing out of the world. But once the story starts to kick into high gear, once the fight starts to kick into high gear, it becomes something completely different. I mean, Ufotable really brought their A game to this season, and you know how Ufotable, when Ufotable made Unlimited Blade Works, people in the anime community used to refer to it as Unlimited Budget Works because they could not believe the level of quality, the level of expertise that was on show. Well, I feel like this show, and particularly this season, is a proper successor to Unlimited Blade Works, Unlimited Budget Works rather. And I think it should also be given the title Demon Slayer Unlimited Budget Works because the animation looks gorgeous. And they use a different mix of techniques. I've noticed that they are using CGI, and they use CGI in a very smart way. They use it for background and for the effects, the fire effects, the lightning effects, and then they add some hand punch. They do it well. They integrate the 3D aspects in it very well, and most of the time you don't even notice. So they have stepped on their game in this thing, and with the 3D technology, I don't really like it, but Ufotable is showing that it has a space in this industry. It has a space to enhance the experience and to make life easier for the animators, because animating hand-drawn is not easy. But if they're able to integrate the 3D, so it's not as taxing on the animators, and from what I'm seeing here, they're already on their way to do it, because the Mugen Train movie was great, but that was a movie. Its budget was normally higher than the budget for movies is normally higher than that of anime series. I know with things like very strict time frames and all that, you will not usually get, because time is usually the most deciding factor when it comes to animation. You not get as much beautiful animation as a movie, but with this season, like I said, without wanting to get too much into hyperbole, Ufotable brought that A game, and I couldn't be happier for it. Now, the next thing I want to say is the stakes are involved in this entire act, because the act starts, if our shows deals with the aftermath of Rengoku's death, and then the act starts on a very kind of light-hearted tone. Tanjiro and the others disguising themselves to go to the Entertainment District and all that, but it raises the ante. I'll say the stakes become very high, and I believe that they're higher than ever, because when you're watching this, even though it makes you forget that you're watching an anime for a moment, it makes you really fear for the lives of these characters. In fact, personally, I was filled with this sense of dread that the Hashira in this involved in this story is going to die, Tengen, and I was really dreading it because I knew that was something that could happen and that he could very well lose his life in this arc. So I was really emotionally involved in these characters and involved in the stakes because the villains were actually very threatening. Well, maybe the girl Daki, she was not that threatening. I mean, Tanjiro and Nezuko pretty much dealt with her, but once Gyutaro comes to the screen, once he's introduced, everything changes. Gyutaro is a menace. That dude is out for blood. He is one of the most intimidating villains, even though he's weaker than Akaza. He's one of the most intimidating villains there, and his general vibe is just terrifying. And so that really made me involved in the story. And the story is not just about, they say this thing, shonen is usually looked down because of his flashy fights and all those things, but they usually have really deep themes. When you look at the subtext, when you look below surface level, below the flashy fights and everything, all of the shonen stories, they usually have deep themes, deep messages, even critiques of society than I see in many quote-unquote serious anime. Because as they're fighting, it's not just the fight. When you listen to lines of dialogue and everything, you understand that there's a subtext that the author is trying to tell you, and I'm not going to explain it in this video, or I'm not going to detail rather, but it's talking about how the women in the entertainment district that are treated like objects. Yes, they're treated like objects, and in that place, your beauty is everything. Your beauty, your physical appearance is everything. That means that if you are more beautiful, you get more customers for the house and you rise up the ranks, become an Oyo rank. But if you are not, then you are pretty much doomed. And I would like to say the critique of society, I would say it is smarter and more clearly explained than pretentious anime like Attack on Titan, and also specifically Attack on Titan. Because I'll say personally, I'll take beautiful fights, beautiful animation over the top fights, people screaming the attacks at the top of their lungs any day than long, boring, nonsensical and condescending philosophical debates about what is life, about what is morality. And I hate like when somebody wants to appear smart. I think like I'm seeing it in most writing nowadays, the shortcut that they use is that they start talking about the gray area in morality, and once they do that, they feel like they've achieved anything. But as an intellectual myself, no, I don't mean to boast, but I'm not an idiot. I know that there are things in the world. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to tell me in a condescending manner that there are things that are wrong in the world. So, like I said, I'm going to say it again. I will take beautiful animation over the top fights. Beautiful animation and over the top fights over nonsensical, condescending philosophical debates about morality any day. I know the show is just good. I mean, give it its flowers. Give it its flowers. It knows, it tells it comes in, it tells his story. It doesn't drag, it doesn't linger, and it doesn't lecture its audience. It tells his story, and the animation really improves it, really elevates it to a different level, and then leaves. And the fight scenes were so high in the final exchanges. Where everybody was fighting their heart out, I could feel the audience. Like I said, the stakes were high there. You feel like these people are fighting for their lives. So in the final exchanges, I was by myself in my room, and I kept screaming, "This is what I live for. This is what I live for." I don't know, the adrenaline rush that it gave me, and it's not easy. And I'm not the kind of person who like most people who are watching anime as an adult, even as a kid, when they are watching anime, they're pretty calm on the outside, but they are raging in the inside. So when they are seeing things that make the heart pump, they keep the outside appearance calm. But when I was watching this, I could not contain myself. And luckily that I was in my room by myself, because if I was watching with somebody, I would have kept myself composed, but I couldn't keep myself composed. So anyway, guys, that is it. I would really like to go into much detail about the series, what I like, but this is just like my first impression. Maybe I'll come back to it and look forward to more discussions about anime and specifically Demon Slayer in the coming days. I thank you for watching the video. If you agree with me, share your thoughts down below, leave a like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.